Today, I'm going to show you how we're going to start some perennials for our garden using no grow lights, no fancy equipment, and utilizing supplies you probably already have on hand or can get very easily. So let's get started. Welcome to my basement, and if you're new here, welcome to our cherished homestead. I garden up here in west central Wisconsin. We fall in a zone 4. And like I said, today we are going to start some perennials for the garden using the winter sowing method. So real quick, what is winter sowing? We are going to essentially create a small greenhouse environment. We will set these outside, let nature take care of sunlight, most of the watering, and in the springtime when the weather warms up, our seedlings will naturally wake up with nature. A little bit of extra help with that greenhouse effect we're going to create in this little controlled environment. And this is a perfect way to start seeds if you are a beginner or if you're like me and like to start a lot of different seeds for your garden and run out of space indoors where you can start these things. So what do we need? Some sort of a clear jug. We're going to use a milk jug today. It can be clear or cloudy. You could use an orange juice container, or I've seen people use clear totes. And keep the lid for now because it's going to be a lot easier to prep these containers, and I'll show you that in 1 second. Next, some sort of a sharp knife. I have a utility knife box cutter here. I had a really nice sharp pair of scissors. That could work as well. Some sort of duct tape, clear packing tape will work. Any sort of heavy duty tape, not Scotch tape. Next, you're going to want some plant tags so you can label what's inside of here. You're not going to remember. You can get them at any garden center. This is a must. Garden marker. Sharpie is not going to work. Trust me, I've done it. Doesn't work. Then our seeds. Now, I'm going to go over more of this when we get into the planting because what you can start this method is going to vary wildly depending on where you live, what your growing zone is, the climate in that zone, all of those things, but it's not that confusing. We'll go over that when we get there, and I'll show you what we're going to start here for zone 4 in February. And the last thing, potting mix. And yes, you're going to want potting mix for this. Seed starting mix is a little too light. We want this to hold up outside in the outdoor elements and let nature kind of take care of all of the work. So let's prep one of these containers and show you how we're going to plant some of these seeds up. So the first thing we're going to do is create a few drain holes in the bottom of this container so that we have some good drainage when we go to plant it up. Take your knife very carefully, and this is when you want to have your lid on here. It's going to just help your container not crush on you. Got about 5 drain holes in the bottom of that. That should be good. We're going to cut around this container, but we are going to leave about this much here so that we can open and close this lid, and I'll show you here. We're going to get the box cutter out. You're going to want to start on one side of this. And just go to the very end. That's about perfect. We can open this up, reclose it back. We have our pre-moistened potting mix here. I'm just going to fill up our jug with. Get a good few inches of soil in there. And then we're going to talk about what perennials I'm going to be planting up today and what some good choices are for this method. Now let's talk about the good candidates for winter sowing, and I'm going to show you all the perennials that we're going to start today for our garden. Perennials that are going to work this way are things that self-seed in your own garden now. So think Rudbeckia, Echinacea, if you're in a similar zone to what we are here. A lot of the seeds that I'm going to start today kind of span between zone 3 to probably 6 or 7. I encourage you to go online and look up winter sowing in your zone. Find a list of plants that you can use with winter sowing. Majority of what we're starting today can kind of span through a lot of these zones. So let me show you what we're going to start, and then we're going to go over later what you can start as vegetables and tender annuals a little bit later on in the growing season. First, we have the Barlow mix of columbine. Now I have a new packet of seeds as well as seeds that I saved from our own plants out there. And so we're going to try both of them and see what kind of luck we get with that. The next thing we're going to start are delphiniums. I've never really had luck growing delphiniums inside or out, so maybe this will be the year. We have the Magic Fountain mix. Then we're going to do two different types of echinacea. We just have the purple and white. And foxglove. These are some of my favorite cottage garden flowers that we plant here. And we have the Excelsior mix as well as the Camelot mix. One other thing to note is if your seed packet ever says it needs cold stratification, that will be the perfect candidate to do winter sowing with, because then you'll already be giving it the cold that it needs in the outdoors instead of having to refrigerate your seeds beforehand. And then we're going to start some hollyhocks. I also love hollyhocks. They are one of my other favorite cottage garden flowers. And we have the Ford Hook Giants mix, which they look double flowered and beautiful. And then we also have some that were saved from my sister-in-law's garden that I'm super excited to plant. She had hollyhocks when they moved into their home, and I was able to collect seed from there, which is super exciting. And then we have larkspur, which for us would be a tender annual. So I'm still going to plant it with the perennials. It says chill seed for 7 days at 35 degrees Fahrenheit to improve germination. I think we're okay. This next one I'm excited about. We've gotten a few of these to grow this way before, and that is the Rocky Mountain penstemon seeds. And these are almost translucent purple and just beautiful in the garden. I'm really excited for those. Rudbeckia. This has come back in milder winters for us, so I'm pretty positive we're going to get this to go in the winter sowing. And yarrow. Yarrow is great. This is zone, I believe, zone 2 to 9 perennial. You could grow this almost anywhere. We've had this grow in the winter sowing containers very well. That's probably why. And these are beautiful just to fill bouquets with. I love making cut flower bouquets with everything that we grow. And yarrow is just a reliable workhorse perennial for you. I'm going to talk a little bit more when we get to planting these up about the vegetables and tender annuals that you can start this way as well. But right now I have a lot of containers that I need to get prepped and ready for these seeds. So I'm going to get going on that, and we'll talk about some of the other candidates for this that we can start planting up probably later in March. While my husband and I get to work on these containers, and as you can see, he brought out his drill to make this a little bit easier. And while this is not a necessity, it worked incredibly easy and quick to be able to make these drain holes in all these containers. Let's talk about some other perennials and tender annuals that you can plant using this winter sowing method, because there's a lot more that you can do that we did not plant today. Things like bachelor's buttons, milkweed, poppies work well with this. I've heard bee balm, lavender, chamomile. I've even heard people do things that are more cold tolerant, like snapdragons, cosmos, calendula, pansies. There is an entire list, and I'm sure I'm missing a lot, of just perennials and tender annuals that you can plant this way. So I encourage you to, like I said, look it up in your zone and figure out what those things are, because there's a lot. I also want to talk about the herbs and cold tolerant vegetables you can plant this way, because you're not limited to flowers. People do cilantro, basil, dill, parsley, chives. You want to start these tender annuals, herbs, and cold tolerant vegetables a little bit later on, more in the late winter time. So March, if you're in a zone 4, is when we would start these things. And you can also do the cold tolerant vegetables, like I said, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Lettuce works really well with this because it loves the cold temperatures to germinate in. So kale, spinach, all sorts. So I encourage you to look it up, and this would be a quick and easy way to start some cold tolerant vegetables for your garden if you didn't have any grow lights or any equipment. So now that we have all of our jugs planted up with our seeds, we're just going to water them in and get these taped up. And I'm going to show you where they're going to go outside and live for the rest of the winter. When you're placing your containers outside, there's just a couple of things that you're going to want to think about. You want to put them in a nice sunny spot. So this is the south side of a floating deck that my husband built for us off of the south side of our house. So they're going to get plenty of good sunlight over here. And you just want to put them in a semi-protected area, meaning you don't want these to fall over in any sort of wind. So I have them up against this wall. A lot of people will put them maybe out on their deck, kind of up against the railings so that they don't fall over in the wind. And the last thing is make sure that they're not covered from the top, that you don't have them under the eave of your house or anything that's going to not allow moisture to get into these containers. And so at this point, if you haven't already, we do not need the lids on anymore. We want water from snow or rain, any sort of moisture to be able to get into these containers so that we don't have to water them. As far as maintenance goes, we're just going to leave these out here, check on them every few weeks to make sure that they haven't dried out, especially if you haven't gotten any snow or rain. Typically up here, we get enough moisture in both the winter and springtime that I don't have to typically do much with these. So this is a really easy, hands-off, low maintenance way to start your seeds. And then comes springtime, we are just going to open up the tape on these containers, let these plants have a little bit of airflow, and they are already going to be hardened off and ready for us to plant come springtime. So I hope you guys stay tuned because I'm really excited to show you what we get from these jugs in our winter sowing this year. And if you like this sort of thing, stay tuned because I have an entire box of seeds that we are going to start not only for our 8 raised bed gardens that we have, but also I love to fill my whole backyard wherever I can with flowers of all sorts that we grow from seed here. So if you like this sort of thing, consider subscribing, and thanks again for watching, guys. See you in the next one.